Hi, my name is Louise Jones and I'm the project coordinator for this joint project between JNCC, the Marine Management Organisation, Natural England, the National Federation of Fishermen's Organisations, Bangor University and CAG Consultants, which has focused on developing a participatory approach to the management of fishing activity in UK offshore marine protected areas. The project started in March 2018 and was completed in March 2020, funded by the European Maritime Fisheries Fund. The project partners have been working with dedicated stakeholders, and although the work has focused on the offshore waters around England, the outcomes of the project are transferable and can be used to inform adaptive management projects and co-design approaches to fisheries management throughout UK waters. The project looked to address some prominent issues in management discussions, such as the levels of scientific uncertainty in the offshore environment and the challenges around stakeholder engagement, particularly in sustaining engagement, encouraging compliance, and utilising stakeholder information within the decision-making process. The project used adaptive management as a forum for generating a participatory approach, as it provides opportunities to adapt management in a proportionate manner using best available evidence. This approach may be particularly appropriate for sedimentary habitats where current evidence on impacts of fishing is limited. The adaptive management cycle is a framework through which ecosystems can still be managed even in the face of multiple uncertainties. When new or improved evidence is available, the iterative process, which is a cornerstone of adaptive management, provides opportunities for managers to rapidly respond, review, and revise management advice. The project has sought to involve key stakeholders such as the fishing sector, environmental non-government organisations, regulators, scientific advisors, and academic researchers, building stakeholder stewardship to develop and trial a consistent approach for managing sedimentary habitats in MPAs in light of scientific uncertainty. Using both North Norfolk Sandbanks and Saturn Reef Special Area of Conservation and west of Walney Marine Conservation Zone as case study sites, the project has created a framework for how a participatory approach to marine protected area management could be developed, together with the necessary tools to enable efficient, effective and equitable management of fishing activities. The delivery of this framework has been split into three parts, the first being the delivery of a participatory process to integrate stakeholders within the management review process, seeking to build awareness and consensus. The second being the development of an ecological model to predict outcomes of different management scenarios using real-life situations as tests. And the third being the production of an MPA fisheries management toolkit to guide advisors, regulators and stakeholders in future management reviews. Developing the framework for a participatory process to marine protected area management was delivered through a series of 4 workshops with a focus on regional specific options using the 2 case study sites. The workshops were each designed around collective discussion with a focus on the regional specific options for adaptive MPA management and enabled participants to build some shared understandings of each other's issues and concerns. All national and regional workshop outputs, including agendas, reports and presentations, are available on the project webpage. Active stakeholder participation in management can be incredibly positive, empowering key stakeholders to contribute to the development of management strategies. However, developing an effective approach to engage stakeholders can be challenging, and there are many factors to consider, such as those shown in this diagram of principles of stakeholder engagement. Communication was discussed as a fundamental principle of stakeholder engagement. Information should be balanced, concise and well organised, with an established feedback process to ensure those who have spent time contributing to the process are aware of how their efforts have been taken on board. We used this participation ladder to discuss varying governance structures for a participatory approach. As you move up the ladder, the level of participation required increases. This brings the benefits of increased stakeholder stewardship. However, these approaches are more complex and require more resources. The co-design approach was the most popular choice in our hypothetical case studies. This approach collaborates with stakeholders, incorporating their advice and recommendations into the outcomes to the maximum extent possible. Although the approach is challenging to coordinate and requires time and money, the benefits of this level of engagement were felt to outweigh the negatives. As a means to help inform management decision-making and to reduce uncertainty around the likely risks associated with different management options, Bangor University developed the BENTHIC Impacts tool, which uses the relative benthic status mathematical model to forecast the potential impacts of different management scenarios on benthic communities. As with all tools derived from models, certain caveats and limitations apply and require understanding before presenting and discussing the outputs within a management group. A user manual for the BENTHIC Impacts tool is available on the project webpage. The R script behind the tool is available on request through GitHub. Knowledge of the R software is required for use of this option. Please feel free to contact Jan-Gert Hedink at Bangor University for further information and access. The BENTHIC Impacts tool has been designed to be a web-based application and may be available as such in the future. The relative benthic status mathematical model is the foundation of the BENTHIC Impacts tool and was proposed by Pitcher et al. In 2017. The model involves the relationship between fishing effort, depletion rate, and recovery rate, asking what is the current status of each habitat type. To answer this question, maps of where fishing takes place using the swept area ratio calculation, maps of habitat type, information on depletion by gear type, and community recovery rates are required. The tool uses the spatial distribution of fishing activity and benthic habitats to estimate relative benthic status to an unimpacted habitat baseline in varying scenarios and can be used to explore and assess the impact of fishing on seabed ecosystems in a quantitative manner based on the latest available scientific evidence. As you click through the animation on this slide, you can see an area of the English Channel which has been used for illustrative purposes of the tool outputs. Please note this area does not depict an existing marine protected area. The first map shows the habitat map providing distribution of sedimentary habitats. The second map shows the relative benthic status of the area before any management scenarios have been added to the tool, so this presents the levels of fishing activity. The third map shows the relative benthic status of the area after a management scenario has been added, with the final map showing the change in relative benthic status, so the before minus the after scores, which can then be used to discuss the impacts of the management scenario on the benthic community. Stakeholder experience was drawn on to identify what would be useful to include in an MPA fisheries management toolkit. This graphic presents the various components of the toolkit, which have been developed through focused discussions within the workshops aided by independent facilitators. The MPA Fisheries Management Toolkit provides a resource for those involved in and affected by fisheries management decision-making, laying out the key elements to consider in establishing a participatory approach to implementing management in marine protected areas. It aims to support the building of capacity within the fishing industry to contribute to the management process by helping to deliver an effective process for reviewing management, establishing mechanisms for all parties to bring information to the decision-making table. The toolkit is hosted on the project webpage as an interactive PDF which is available to download. A summary of each of the toolkit components is provided on the webpage, and summary posters of the toolkit components are also available within the toolkit and as separate posters to provide information at a glance. To ensure a legacy to this project, we have raised awareness through various presentations at conferences and workshops, along with news articles and social media. The information and slides from the presentations delivered have been combined to create this project presentation for ease of reference. All project deliverables are available as accessible resources on the project webpage, including a video of key messages from project participants and all of the workshop reports, presentations and agendas. A project report is also available which provides background information to the project, as well as outlining the process in more detail and describing lessons learned and recommendations for future work. This work would not have been possible without the continued support and input from the project participants who donated their time in attending workshops over the duration of the project and reviewed all of the project deliverables. Many of the participants also agreed to be on the project advisory group, which donated additional time to review project deliverables and meet to discuss feedback and project progress. Our sincere thanks to all who have contributed. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have found this presentation informative. If you'd like more information, please feel free to contact me at louisa.jones@jncc.gov.uk or visit the project webpage. Thank you.